So let's talk about how the policy of importing third world problems and failure to enforce the law is going. Well,
Are we having drag imam story hour in London now?
Allahu Akbar, brother.
sadly, that might be an improvement. Firstly, 3 teens arrested after allegedly killing swan for family and friends to eat.
What?
Oh, yeah, I read that story.
On Tuesday...
Oh, fucking New York.
Yeah. On Tuesday, the police arrested 18-year-old Aman Hussain and a 17 and 16-year-old, all from Syracuse, which is apparently a place in New York, not the island.
It is.
In connection to the incident.
It is.
The names of the 2 teens have not been released because they are young pieces of shit rather than old pieces of shit. The swan was killed at the pond and subsequently consumed by family and friends. This was not done because the family was lacking food, it was done because they wanted to hunt what they thought was a large duck.
Not only are they vandals, they're retarded vandals.
They also
Yes.
took her signets, which thankfully they did get back.
Yes.
But she had like 4 or 5 signets when they took it.
Yeah, it does seem they got them all back. The 2 juveniles, in a post on Facebook, the police department said thanks to multiple tips, 2 of the signets were found at a shopping plaza in nearby Salina. The other 2 were found at a private residence in Syracuse. All 4 are now in the care of a biologist who ensures the health and well-being of the swans for the village of Manlius. So, just to clear up any possible confusion, these aren't wild swans. They're actually owned by the city.
Yeah, they're basically wild.
Yeah, to an extent, but yeah. The investigation is ongoing, apparently. I don't know exactly what they're being charged with.
So, something that may not be familiar to anyone outside of the U.S., because it looks like they've got basically a DCNR, or in this case, Department of Environmental Conservation Police. Basically, they enforce hunting licenses, animals being hunted, that sort of thing. And that's a wholly separate level of law enforcement. And I'll put it this way. They don't fuck around,
I
typically.
think it was, if I remember correctly, because I think I must have read a different article, it was something like larceny they got charged with.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That would make sense because the swans were gifted to the city. Where we go? Yeah, the wildlife biologist donated the swans to the village in 2010 and helps take care of them. So the swans did belong to the city, so they are going after them under property, would be my guess. Because yes, obviously they're swans, so they could fuck off if they want to, but they are technically owned by the village.
So it's going to be property, and then it's also going to be probably
some description
without a license and
some
things like that, which are pretty fucking bad things to get charged with, especially upstate.
Yeah, and they're probably going to cop animal cruelty as well because apparently they used a golf club because they're high level scum.
Oh, because they're absolute scum. Yes.
Yep. And of course, they did it around 3 a.m. on a Saturday. Oh, it's almost as if they knew what they were doing was wrong.
Mm-hmm. Fucking animals.
Yeah. And meanwhile, in Walgreens debuts new anti-theft store with just 2 aisles where customers can shop for themselves. The rest is locked up and needs to be ordered from a kiosk.
Oh, Chicago. Say no more.
Yeah. The Chicago store opened on Tuesday to mixed reviews. 2 aisles of essentials are open to customers, but everything else must be ordered from a counter. Shit, do you remember any other time recently when you could only buy essentials and everything else was locked away?
Those were the days, I guess.
Yeah. So, a Chicago branch of Walgreens has been redesigned with just 2 aisles where customers they shop for themselves. The rest must be done via a kiosk. New anti-theft store will trust shoppers to pick up essentials for themselves in the 2 free aisles, but everything else must be ordered and picked up via a counter.
How about we just cut the hands off thieves?
Sounds good to me.
You'd find out very quickly what the sound of no hands clapping is.
Well, that's fine. And when they use their teeth to steal the third time, we cut the head off too.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, you don't decapitate them. You just remove the jaw.
Yeah, but at that point, then, well, they're already non-productive members of society, but at that point, there's no chance of them getting a job, so do we really need to keep them?
Not my problem. Not my fucking problem. They can go out, shoot up heroin on the street, and die for all I fucking care.
No, they can't because they don't have hands.
Another
You
felt the
could
lack of
do
trust
stupid
was...
things though. If the theft punishments were harsher, rather than this way, sir, the door is this way. Would you like me to help you to your car?
Yeah. Another, however, felt the lack of trust was disappointing. Well, get where you fucking vote for, you bastards.
Yep.
Fat Elvis Jr. says they could just not allow blacks to enter. Shoplifting problem solved.
Yeah, but that would be racist, guys. We can't have that.
Racist. Is that a new word to mean correct?
Yes. But we don't need to talk that, we don't say that loudly because that'll offend someone again or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Maureen, the point of removing just the jaw, yes, they might be drooling all over the place. That'll just offend their other handless, angry hobo friends and just beat each other to death with stumps.
Yeah. Oh, dear. So, of course, this comes after, like, how, for example, in October 2021, Walgreens closed 5 stores in San Francisco, citing organized shoplifting. Yes, it's almost as if when the government goes, if you steal less than $1,000, we're not going to prosecute it.
See, I don't even see the point of this. If they don't want to have customers wandering around the store, then why don't they just do a click and collect service?
I mean, that's
that's
a good
basically what it's
question.
becoming.
Yeah, but why should you have to go in and click a kiosk? Literally, order online. Here's your slot. A member of staff will pick it, bag it for you. At least then you're offering a decent service.
Good
Well,
question.
To a point, I think the argument I would make with having the kiosk is, if I'm traveling, I'm not necessarily going to be able to get signal, and I just want to pop in, grab something, and leave without stealing it. And
grab something and run, Bleachy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the thing that really pisses me off about shit like this is it will trickle down into communities where it's not needed, but because it becomes brand standard.
Mm.
Yeah. So we've got other events going, like footage of gangs of crooks wearing masks, wheeling shopping carts loaded with valuable products out of a Home Depot. Other clips showing shoplifters loading up duffel bags and backpacks with perfumes and colognes from a Ross store in Colorado. One Ross Dress for Less manager said that thieves are targeting her Colorado store up to 4 times a day. Footage captured at the location shows a number of thieves storming through the store, filling bags with items before casually leaving. It happens
because there's absolutely no repercussions for doing it.
No, it happens a lot. I would say that this kind of incident happens 4 times a day.
Wow.
If that was happening in a store I worked in, I'd quit.
Mm.
Like, no, I'm just not fucking going to live a life that where people come in, rob from right in front of me, and I'm not allowed to do anything about it. Fuck that shit.
Didger here is, we have to scan approved ID to get in the local liquor store because theft police won't stop. I'm tired of living in this kind of society. I just am.
Well, don't worry, because there's no escape. Can't go to England either, because Sainsbury's is behaving like Costco because they don't trust people who use the self-service till. We've introduced new barriers as you leave this store. You'll need to take your receipt and scan this on the barcode reader in front of the barriers.
Do you know what the best of it is? Now, I don't know so much about Sainsbury's, but I know with at least 2 or 3 of the other supermarket chains that I've been in, and I tend to go to self-service because it can't be arsed with the cashier. And it doesn't give you a receipt by standard. It's like, do you want a receipt or do you want to save paper like a good girl? And so a lot of people don't get receipts at the self-scan.
Yeah,
Aww.
but of course, their solution to the people misusing the self-checkouts isn't to, I don't know, hire some fucking teenage staff, you know, what we were talking about earlier. God forbid a teenager wants to get some life fucking experience and a little bit of money.
Wait, we were talking about this earlier?
Yeah, it was like
Also,
yesterday.
these health scan machines are just awful. Like, not only do they pretty much always have the wrong weights in, so when you're trying to like scan things through and put them down, the weights don't match, and so they're like, "Oh, unexpected item," or "Please put item in bag." Then you've got
Oh,
staff who aren't even trained on them,
Yeah.
who come over. So I've had it before where I've been scanning my shopping and I've picked the bag up to like move it over so I can put another bag down. And as I've picked it up, of course, it's went item removed from scale. And over comes this person who hasn't paid any attention to what I'm doing, tapping the screen and scanning their card while I've got the bag in my hand. So of
Yeah.
course I then pull the bag back down and it says unexpected item. And I'm like, if you hadn't come over and messed with it without watching,
Yeah. Fucking
Uh,
idiots.
we wouldn't have this problem. So they're all like the people on the checkouts are not watching anyway.
No, because they're not paid enough to care. That's the
They
worst
just
part.
see the little red light, they come over, they scan the card, they smash at the screen until it stops flashing, and then they wander off to talk to the mate again.
Yep.
Yep. But
They're
hey,
supposed to be watching. That's why the machines are supposed to flash in the first place, so that they can, kind of check, is it a weight error, or is this person put PS5 on instead of a bag of bananas?
but you know where they wouldn't, what would stop them from having this problem? Hiring some bloody staff. Stupid fucking
Yeah, but that
corporate
is
bastards.
expensive. We can't do that.
That's racist.
That too.
Oh, well, if it's racist, that's okay then.
Yeah.
But hey, don't worry. Dummy coffee jars appear on supermarket shelves in London during cost of living crisis.
Yeah. Yeah. There'll be riots. There'll be fucking riots.
That's,
It's only Nescafe, so
Yes.
it's not really coffee.
well, my first question when I saw this was, English drink coffee? But then I suppose it is London and there's no English left.
No.
Sure.
Not unless they're like in the House of Lords or something.
Yeah.
No, some people prefer coffee. Those people are wrong, but some people do prefer coffee.
The coffee belongs to me. The British can't have it.
Yeah.
I hear Drew would fight on there because Drew and I have had this argument before.
Yeah. I mean, you're allowed to have the wrong option, but the coffee is mine.
I
Stay away from
dangled
it.
that bait under Drew's nose.
Yeah.
And I grabbed it.
So,
It's mine.
so yeah, the co-op is putting dummy jars on the shelves. A Londoner shared a picture of a local co-op selling jars of garbage coffee anyway. Now, jars have been slapped with a label reading, "This product is a dummy, not for sale. Please ask a member of staff for help." But they're a dummy too.
£10.50 for 200 grams of coffee.
Fucking hell,
What
that's
the
pretty
absolute
severe.
hell? Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's like $4 for coffee that I can get. Granted, that's like shit tier coffee, but still.
No wonder people are stealing it. They're like, I'm not fucking paying that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Lots of people are obsessing over these prices. I'd never pay attention for this either, but surely what's more alarming is the sudden need for this insane securitization. A function of rising poverty. No, a function of not controlling the shit bags in London.
Yeah. Okay.
What, the ones in Westminster that caused the price raises?
Them too.
But yeah, it's like, because I'll see like these security measures going in. It's like, I can remember going into stores. It's like, just wander up, unless it was alcohol on a Sunday, you could get it whenever the hell you wanted it. And it was like, yeah, there wasn't this because the culture was not diverse, shall we say.
Yeah.
No.
So they keep talking about all these inflation numbers, but it's like, what do you mean by inflation? Do you mean year to date? Like the difference between January 1st and now? Or do you mean the difference between this month and last month? Because they're saying, like, ambient food inflation, so shelf-stable items, rose from 12.9% April to 13.1% in May. Like, that's great, but is that 12.9% from the beginning of the year to 13.1% from the beginning of the year? Or is the inflation this month 12% and the inflation next month 13%? Because both could be fucking, that could be fucking true too with the rate shit's going up.
Oh yeah.
Oh, painful.
Oh no,
Absolutely agonizing.
you're mad. You're mad.
But yeah, they
Thinking
could
about
never
arresting
possibly arrest
shoplifters.
shoplifters. I mean, they won't stop home invaders and dog thieves. Why would they stop shoplifters? Oh, Lord. The fucking state of the West. I bet
Yeah.
I bet they arrest shoplifters in Russia.
I was
From
just
what I've
thinking
heard, they
that.
actually beat them fucking senseless.
Good. If you enjoyed this segment from the Songs of Chardonnay podcast, please consider joining us live exclusively on rumble.com/c/Songs of Chardonnay. A special thanks to our Subscribe Star supporters who you can currently see scrolling past on your screen.